Hi there, my name is Robin Koerner and I teach the art of political persuasion. I really got interested in politics in about 2010, 2011. And in 2011 I started writing for the Huffington Post as a political writer and economics writer. And in that year I wrote an article called "If You Love Peace, Become a Blue Republican Just for a Year." And as you probably know, the readers of the Huffington Post, they tend to be progressive, liberal, certainly Democrats, Obama supporters. And in fact, back in 2008, I was very pleased when Obama won. But in this article, I wanted to suggest to the more liberal readers of the Huffington Post that if they had voted for Obama in 2008 because they thought they were voting for civil rights, against unnecessary war, and against cronyism, and you may remember that we identified Bush, a lot of people identified George W. Bush with all of those things when Obama was running against the Republicans in 2008. I was suggesting in 2011 that after looking at 3 years of Obama, perhaps there wasn't enough clear blue water between what Obama was doing in all of those areas and what Bush had done. So I said to my liberal readers, look, stick to your liberal principles and vote for the one guy in the race who has a track record on those things, against cronyism, for peace and for civil rights. And I pointed out in this article that that guy happens to be an old white conservative Republican called Ron Paul. Now, you might disagree with me and we might disagree with my endorsement, but that article went viral. And indeed, the Ron Paul campaign later told me that the biggest coalition they had for Ron Paul, that guy who back then the media were calling an arch conservative, were actually a group of were the Blue Republicans. And I called these folks who moved parties from Democrat to Republican to support Ron Paul for those liberal reasons. I called them Blue Republicans. And the campaign told me that the Blue Republicans were the biggest coalition for Ron Paul that they'd identified, which is kind of remarkable when you think about it. So I then realized that this politics was my thing. And being able to speak in the language of the folks across the aisle, or of folks who may appear to disagree in important ways, that's something that I was good at. And indeed that makes a lot of sense because I am actually trained in direct sales, and my first extensive experience of the United States as an adult, you can tell I'm not from around here, I'm originally English, but my first experience of the US as an adult was actually selling books door to door, and I had some very serious sales training. Also at university, I studied epistemology, which is all about how we form beliefs, how we gain knowledge, why we think we know what we know. So, and since then, as a trained scientist, I was trained in physics, I've been really more and more interested in empirical psychology and the science of persuasion and the way we make up our minds, etc. So all of these things kind of come together with my interest in politics and specifically the founding ideals of this country. I bring all these things together to teach people who I know care about what our founders stood for, what our nation should stand for, to teach them how to persuade more effectively. So that's what I do. And I have been teaching the art of political persuasion all around the world. I've been to Kyrgyzstan, Slovakia, Slovenia, Poland, Czech Republic, Brazil, teaching this stuff. And I've been doing that for some years, but I've always really wanted to bring it home. Why? Because I want to bring the founding principles of America home, right? There's so many good people in America that I meet who really profoundly care about making this country or even the world better. But they get so frustrated, right? Because they just don't know how people make up their minds. And most people try to change people's minds by using the same justifications on them that they use to justify their own positions, without knowing that actually the way we make up our mind is very different from how we justify what we believe when our minds are made up. So I teach all of that. I'm teaching psychology, I'm teaching sales and marketing. I'm teaching sales and marketing for people who are trying to sell ideas. That's my expertise. I've done it all over the world. And I've got some results to prove it. So if you do really care about some aspect of our lives, if you care about people, if you care about truth, and if you care about politics as a way to get to truth and to improve the lives of people, in that case especially, please consider what I have to give you. I believe I can make you a much, much more powerful persuader. I can make what for many people is really frustrating, that repeated having the argument, stating out the facts, Why is it that people just don't get this? This is so obvious. That experience of never making progress, I can completely turn around for you. I can make you enjoy persuading other people. I can make you successful at it, and that will make you feel much more empowered and invigorated in your cause. So check me out. My name is Robin Koerner. Go to robinkoerner.com. Check out the products I have there, specifically my course on the art of political persuasion, and let me know what you think. Thanks a lot.